It's week 6 of the National Football League, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the reigning AFC champs and the Niners, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
The onset of fall weather, certainly a welcome occurrence for folks in Silicon Valley, and we've got football on a gorgeous day here in Santa Clara as we are situated at Levi's Stadium. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi's Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now in week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This one taken just inside the 10. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick back in 2020 from LSU. It's Joe Burrow.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
Now Burrow on first down. Flushed out right. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now they go play action now. Burrow on the move to his left. And that'll be incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. He finds his man, complete. That's Reese. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Well, this defense for the Niners, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
Yeah, they held them to well under 200 yards of total offense. And in today's NFL, that's a feat to be proud of, especially with the emphasis on offense and what we're seeing each and every week, that great creativity and usual productivity.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And a dump off here to Robinson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive. Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they load him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Burrow's throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow eluding the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they're fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
1st down, here's Burrow. And he's got it. And he's brought down. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now Burrow. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A great play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Nick Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. 17-0 our score after one. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Throw left side complete. That's Reese. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Let's go, boys.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Coming up on 2nd and 7. Here's Lawrence. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks. But
and he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Nick Bosa racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. Zerline's kick is up and through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, those body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4. 6 yards left on second down. Here's Burrow. Flush to his right. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Burrow now off the bootleg. Steps away. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the...
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
McCann for the point after. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. Taken in at the 3. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Look at DJ Chark as he and the rest of the offense head back out. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on it. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down. Under pressure, they got him again. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This to the sideline and incomplete. Nearly intercepted, in fact, but he couldn't hang on. 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we Coach. Thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run again here with Robinson. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Now Lawrence. And the Niners get there and bring him down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer.
Jacksonville. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Niners to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen.
Touchdown 49ers. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go.
McCann now for the extra point.
And that'll increase their lead to 28. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
The Jaguars again ready to take over on offense.
They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side, because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
On 1st down, Lawrence. That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off at the 49. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They're passing here. Joe Burrow flushed out right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
2nd and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara. Burrow looking to pass. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Jags are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Lawrence's throw taken in by Chark. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play there on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. That'll be caught right side. Chenault with it. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Here's Lawrence to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. He finds his man, complete. It's Reese. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Again, it's Lawrence. Right back to Chenault. This time he's got it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 2nd and goal, Lawrence toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you...
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And he puts this one through. It makes our score 31-10. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find it.
Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
That one looks like he'll throw here, eluding the pressure right. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. A great play there. With his third touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year.
And the 49ers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by McCann, up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. From the 6. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 of the 24. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll make it second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
5 yards remain on second down.
Lawrence will throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
4th down. Here's Lawrence.
Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Niners take over in terrific field position. They will throw on first down with Burrow. Flush to his right. Looking right sideline, that's complete. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now it's Burrow escaping the pressure right. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Let's go.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on the way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point by McCann, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. From the 6. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Niners, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints.